All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Hi everybody, we are going to be doing a makeup tutorial with you today. And I know it can seem a little bit daunting, especially if you're doing it for the first time. So we'll give you some tips and tricks. Disclaimer, I don't have all the expensive products, so you don't need them. If I can do it, then you can do it. And it doesn't have to be super expensive. If you look out there and try and find the best sales and products for what you're getting. And yeah, let's get started. So the first thing is putting lotion on their face. So Alex has this kind, which is the Pond's kind. I also have the Aveeno Daily Moisturizing. Okay, so this is good. Both are good. Any lotion is good. You want to be starting off with some lotion, let it soak in a little bit, just because later on when you're trying to remove the makeup, it'll really help just because it's creating that film on the face when you're trying to get it off. Also, it's great for moisturization, especially if there's some dry spots that tend to happen on the skin, and then the makeup will apply a little bit more evenly. It's basically equivalent to like what a primer would be, so for those of you makeup savvy people, add a primer and you can replace that with your lotion. Cool, let's do it. So next up we're going to use this guy.
You can use liquid, mousse, anything that essentially matches your child's skin tone.
Ta-da! Alright, next up is bronzer. So I use this guy and a softer brush. So bronzer you don't always use. So for our youngest 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, maybe even 5-year-olds, we're not using this. However, if your child is very pale, it's great to just add a little bit of color just on the top of the forehead. So I'll show you how to do that. Now make sure that when you're applying your bronzer that you add a little on. So mine's pretty dense. You can get all different kinds of bronzers. They have like mixtures within them. So mine's pretty dense. So I'm gonna put a little bit on, then I blow a little bit. And then you're creating the shape around their face like a number 3. So you start at the top, just like where the sun naturally hits. Right at the top, this is the top where the number 3 starts, up right into the hair. blush. Okay, so we're using e.l.f. You can use other kinds like Edward see? Even more expensive stuff, as long as it's veering on the edge of like this color, purpley, not super pink, just watch those colors, yeah? And then inside this one is really great. So, got a nice big blush brush. And good, she's already doing her fish lips, really good. And then we're just gonna put a bit on her cheeks. This is just to make it a little softer on the cheek and a little natural coloring. Just so we know we're only doing one side of her face. So that you guys can see the difference. Okay, good, relax. Just a little bit there. So that was, again, a little bit sharp looking, so I'm just gonna blend it in a little bit. There we go. So already you can see the difference from one side of her face to the other. Remember, it's not about coating and caking the face. It's all about making sure that we can see our kids and their facial expressions from way back in the back of the theater. So making everything stand out and look bigger, yeah? Okay, next up is eyebrows. So Alex doesn't really need too much of her eyebrows done. She has a little bit darker eyebrows, but for those blondies or dancers that have very, very, very light or barely noticeable eyebrows, we want to be actually filling those in with a pencil or even a little bit of brown eyeshadow. Just again, eyebrows are so expressive, and again, we want to be showing the audience all those expressions, those nice big expressions, yeah? So I'm going to be using the end of a pencil, and combing her eyebrows. And again, you can use a pencil, so I'm using the Annabelle. This is a very light taupe, okay? You don't need much. I'm gonna put a little bit on just to demonstrate what dancers could do. Again, Alex doesn't really need much, so I'm gonna start over here and just very lightly start penciling in and defining those eyebrows. Stick to the main part of the eyebrow. Good. So that's gonna be probably enough for her. And again, I'm just gonna blend it a little bit more. So next up, we are going to be doing all the eye stuff. So what is handy that you've got to make sure you have is Q-tips, and lots of them, because you will make mistakes, I guarantee it. So this will help if you dab a little in some lotion, if you throw it under a little bit of water, it'll really help. Just remember that whenever you make a mistake, I know this is obviously we want to avoid making them, whenever you make a mistake and you end up clearing it up with one of these, of course all the makeup and everything that we've done underneath will come off with it. So you've got to make sure you reapply the foundation. But do that last after everything, because you never know how many mistakes you're going to make. Next up is eyeshadow. So we have the Urban Decay Naked set that we're using today. So you can see the colors. We're looking for a neutral pattern. Okay, so we're probably going to be using this color, okay? Start with. So a nice pale. Closing the eyes and then the eyebrows up. Good. We've got a nice loose brush, so it's not super firm. I can really bend it. It's a little bit longer, okay? First base coat. Done. It's nice and clean. Now I'm using an angled brush, and we're going to be going in with a bit of a darker color, so I'm not super keen on anything in this palette that Alex brought. This is an Essence, and we're going to be using this color and maybe a little bit of this color just to blend it up a little bit. Okay, so again, neutral nude tone tones, right? We're not doing pink, we're not doing purple, gray, brown colors, okay? So let's start with this. What we're gonna do is, again, the angled brush. So it's rougher, shorter type of brush. She's gonna close her eyes, and what will really help is that always get them to close their eyes and then eyebrows up, and that'll really help to give you a nice clean palette. So you're looking for the crease. So again, so you've got your eyes closed. Now this will help. So Alex, can you open your eyes? So if you look really closely, you see where her natural crease is, right? So you can see like right here, that's where we're kind of drawing the line, maybe even a touch above that, yeah? All right, so closing the eyes, and then I'm gonna start over here, and you're drawing a line and kind of making up where that crease is without it being there. Okay, so we're getting there, good girl. So I am using this one because I just think she's a little bit more pale, so I'm using more of a lighter tone. Now, what the trick is, so Alex, can you open your eye? If you take your this or this, we're gonna wanna make a line from the bottom up. So if you use this as sort of like a utensil to help you, you can kind of see where it lines up. So you wanna always think upwards at the end, just to open up everything. So I'm using that as my template. So I'm gonna continue my line that I used before up, so that it makes sense. You're kind of going along that line, up and out. There we go. So that is, can you close out? That's your first line. Okay. Even teachers make mistakes, you guys. I forgot to do a little bit of the half lid. So again, I'm using my bigger, softer brush. I'm just going across the lid, like half the lid, just to create some more softness. And it should be like an ombre effect, if you will. Cool. Take a look, close the eye. So again, I didn't put too much over here in the corner of her eye. It's starting to get darker as it heads out. Next up is your eyeliner, my favorite part. I know we all get scared at this point. So this is a gel eyeliner. There's also this kind, Essence. You can use a pencil. This is Annabelle. You can use liquid eyeliner, also Rimmel, okay? All of these are black. You don't want to be using brown, we want the black for the contrast. So we're gonna do the gel. And when you use gel, you want to use a very thin angled brush. So these are very short, tough little bristles, okay? Now the ultimate thing here is you want to get as close to the lash line as possible. So I'm getting in there, and then I'm just like pushing it off the sides just so I have a nice clean amount. Now if you can try to do waterproof for the eyeliner, that is ideal, because then if there's any tears or anything like that, it really helps to keep that on there. Okay, so she's gonna close. Now, me as the applicator, I'm gonna put my arm up and over and then pull a little bit just to lengthen, just because the skin tends to buckle a little bit. And then what I'm gonna do is get in nice and close. So again, eyebrows up nice and high, Alex. Good.
We're going to continue the eyeliner past the edge of the eye to create the wing. It will go up and out, following that same line that you created before with the crease and the darker eyeshadow.
Hey, trust me, this never happens, but that was actually the good first try. Ha! So if you made a mistake, and especially if you're working with that liquid eyeliner, it's very common to kind of like have little bumps and little inconsistencies. Use those Q-tips if you need to, and then just keep going over it, right? That's the beauty of starting really small. Just keep adding to it. You can feel like little short brush strokes. Try not to do it in one go, and then you're good. So I'm just gonna fix it up a little bit, and then I'll get on the other side. For the bottom lid, we don't want to be going all the way across the eye, just about halfway, and really thin to start, and then start to get thicker as you pull it across. That's really important, otherwise it starts to look really chunky on the bottom of the eye. And because our eyelashes are a bit thinner, immediately you're going to start seeing the eyeliner right there, right? So start quite thin, just tiny short brush strokes, and you should be good to go. All right. So now look up at my fingers. Good. You can always take little breaks because often this is the tickly area and our eyes start to water a little bit, so just like blink, 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 blink.
If you have a child that's under 5 years old, we're asking you to stop that bottom eyeliner line at the outside corner edge of the eye. If you're older than 5, we're asking you to continue that line a little bit longer. It will be shorter than that top one you've already created, just to add a little bit more length.
All right, so next up we have the application of white. So this can be a white liner. I like to use this just because it's a little bit more opaque, especially for stage makeup. You can use white eyeshadow. It's up to you. Yeah, ultimately we want to be able to see it. So I'm going to roll it up, and what's going to happen is she's going to look in that direction away from my pencil, and I'm going to do the inside of her eye. I'm just creating like a little C on the inside of her eye there. You know, right? Blink, 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 blink. Okay, so I'm also going to use the eyeshadow for underneath her eyebrows. So this is the white. I've got Naked Urban Decay Basics, but any white works.
We're going to apply it underneath the eyebrow. Then underneath the wings, just to give it a little bit of highlight there, as well as on the inside of the eye on top of that liner that you might have used.
Next up is mascara. So I have a new one. You can use a bunch of different kinds. So this is called the Luminous Feline. You can use the Luminous Butterfly Sculpt. Honestly, anything works. Just be careful that it's not too old, especially if you're repeating this process quite a few times. Mascara gets old very quickly. I think the shelf life on it was only like 2 months. And you can probably tell if you're pulling it out and it's super clumpy and dry, it's done. You want to be using it so that it's nice and kind of clay-like, yeah? And all you're going to do is blink, okay? So I will just go in. Again, blink. Blink. And open your eye. We're just doing nice long blinks. So I'm just like putting it in fairly close to her eye. She's looking forward, and then just like pulling down her eyelashes over the thing, which makes it fairly easy. You want to just try and get in as close as you can. For the little ones, you may not be able to do that. Do your best again. If you can just like blink a couple even on the edge there, that's the best you can do, then please do that. I'm going to do the bottom now. So when you're doing that, you're going to look up at my hand right here. Good. And I'm just going to do a little bit. Getting as close to the lash line as possible. And she has pretty long eyelashes, so I'm not needing to really pull them up. But if you have short ones, then you can kind of keep going and keep working. If you kind of go in and wiggle out, if they're willing to let you do that, then that would be great too, yeah? So, we're not going to be doing eyelashes today, but if you do have them, my biggest and most important tip for that would be cut them to make sure that they fit to the length of the eyelid. Children have smaller eyes than adults, and so often when you're buying eyelashes, they're made for adults. So just trim them up, usually trim the outside edge of the lash, and then when you're using your glue, place it on the edge and then blow on it for a bit, almost 30 seconds, and wiggle it around so that it's airing out so that the glue becomes more tacky. Then when you're bringing them in, it's not dripping all over the place and it's ready to actually be placed on the eyelid, yeah? Maybe we'll do a video tutorial of that in a bit. All right, so next up is lipstick, yeah? Just do another video. Okay, so lips are next, and my suggestion is to always put on chapstick if your child has quite a bit of dryness in the lips. So I'm going to put a little bit of Vaseline. You can use some natural, like Burt's Bees, whatever it is, whatever works for you. So if you can just open up this, good, put a little bit on. We are going to apply lip liner first. Okay, so you don't have to use lip liner, but honestly, it's like the one trick where it's like coloring in the lines. It's so much easier if you can line the lips first with the closest color you can get to the lipstick we're using. So we are using, you want to go for like not so orangey red, not so brown red, but kind of an in-between, a nice red there. And then depending on a special dance or competitive dance, you may use some other colored lipsticks. So this is Color Sensation lip liner. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to tighten the lips. You're going to go like this. Yeah, so like widen up like this. You're like creating like a open eye. Sideways. There you go, that's better. Good. Okay, so we're going to start at the top and then make our way down. Watch that you're lining the lip and not going past it, otherwise it's going to look like they have these huge lips that they don't normally have, right? We are going to be using, I don't even know what kind this is. A red lipstick. I don't know what kind it is, you guys. Oh, Avon. There you go. Avon. So this is hopefully a color that looks good on her. We'll sort of find out. Remember, you can always mix right away. Don't try and mix later. So we're gonna again go like. Good. Check it out, you guys. How awesome does that look? So, I think we're good. How beautiful is that? So you can see from the side, obviously I didn't do half of her lips, but I didn't do this half and I did do this half. And you can really just see how much everything looks a little bit bigger. It's looking more bold so we can see from afar. And I promise you, it may look a little scary, to be honest, when you're first seeing your little ones with quite a bit of makeup on their faces. But just remember that there's so many bright lights on stage that really wash out their faces, right? And we want to be able to see all those smiling faces from far away in the theater. Yeah? Cool? All right, bye everybody. Bye. Have fun, try your best, and that's all you can do.